Probably should have wrote a script or something. But I mean, how hard could it be? I'm just talking about cameras. Beautiful people, how you doing? Welcome back for another video. My name is Kevin Akala, and today we're talking about technology, cameras. For people out there that are looking for a specific camera or still trying to find the perfect camera for them. The reason why I put air quotes is because, well, it's basically a camera that fits their needs. So let's get into the cameras, but before we do that, let's talk about the current camera I have, which is the G7X Mark II. Alright, come on. Come on. Come on. There we go. Alright, so the camera I have is a G7X Mark II. It is a point and shoot camera, shoots and records at 1080p at 60 frames per second. And there's a couple things that I like about this camera and a couple things that I don't. One of the things that I love about this camera is that it has a flip out screen. That is probably one of the most important parts of having this camera, is the fact that it has a flip out screen, which I honestly enjoy. And we'll also discuss the camera I had before and why I didn't like it or like it. So before we get into that, so the things I like about this camera, it is a point and shoot camera, so it's small. I can honestly take it with me anywhere. It's I can, you know, hold it in my hand perfectly fine, and I even have a little tripod that works well with it. And like I said, it has a flip out screen, which is also really good. It shoots alright in low light. I feel like it has a little bleed with it, but everything else, it's honestly a very crisp camera, even though it doesn't shoot in 4K, and the price for it is not that bad. It's around $650 if you get it at Best Buy, and it might be a little bit more on Amazon, but I'm not 100% sure. But Canon G7X Mark II, the main reason why I got it was, like I said, was the flip out screen. Now, things I don't like about the Canon G7X Mark II, well, it doesn't have a mic input, so the audio you're hearing is straight from the camera. However, I feel like it can be enhanced or better. I could, you know, use an external mic. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a hot shoe and it doesn't have a mic input. Now, the other thing that I would enjoy or probably like is having interchangeable lenses. I think it would be cool or dope to actually have a fixed lens on it. However, you can't do that because it's a point and shoot camera. And another thing that I don't really like about the camera is the fact that it doesn't shoot longer than 30 minutes. 15 minutes, I think it's 30 minutes. I'm pretty sure it's 30 minutes. So it shuts off. After 30 minutes, it completely shuts off. And you're not able to record it, or it just stops. So you're gonna have to re-record. I mean, it's not that much of an issue, but it's kind of a deal. But I also like that it's also lightweight, which is also dope, and it has Wi-Fi, so you can get your pictures right away, fast and easy. That's the best way to do it. The previous camera I had was the Sony a6500, which I will get into that later, but the two cameras that I was deciding on was this, the Canon G7X Mark II, and the Sony RX100 Mark V. They're both point and shoots, they both have a flip out screen, but the Sony RX100 Mark V is $1,000, and the autofocus is amazing. Like, it's really quick. The only reason why I chose the Canon G7X Mark II was because of the image stabilization. Now, it's not the best, it's not like a stabilizer's in it, but it's better than the RX100. And I've realized from shooting videos, I hate when I have shaky footage. I just don't want to post it because it just hurts my eyes. So I decided to go with this. And that's the other thing I forgot to mention. The autofocus on this is good, but it's not amazing. Alright, so let's get into the previous cameras that I've owned and the reason why I've ended up with the Canon G7X Mark II. The first camera I ever had was... Come on. There we go. Alright, it was the Canon T5i. Now, this camera was good. It was for a fair price. I sold my first Xbox. Sold my Xbox One so I can buy the camera. I believe the camera was for something. I sold my Xbox for about $250, and yeah, that camera was good. If you're probably just doing what I'm doing right now, just sitting in front of the camera and just talking to it, because it has a mic input, and It has an interchangeable lens and a flip out screen. However, the autofocus wasn't the best. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't great. And it only shoots in 1080p at 30 frames per second. So it wasn't the camera for me. So then after that, I sold that camera and I got a Panasonic G7. Yeah, Panasonic G7. And that camera was good too. Flip out screen, shoots at 4K. However, I didn't really like that it seemed like I was always oversaturated in the videos. And also it has an interchangeable lens, which is also good, and it had a mic. I said the mic, but the autofocus was, surprisingly enough, it wasn't the best. Even if I put myself in front, like in the frame, right in dead center, it still didn't want to record my face. So I got tired of it and I got annoyed of it. So then I sold that camera, and then I got the Canon 7DD, the famous vlogging camera that Casey Neistat made popular with the Joby GorillaPod, which is good. It was a good camera. I just didn't like that it was so heavy. And also, carrying around was kind of a burden because you have this heavy camera. Now, if you are a person that's really famous for vlogging, yeah, it's a good thing to have. However, that wasn't me. And I felt like it was more dead weight to me. But that thing did have an interchangeable lens, a mic input, a flip out screen, but it was just super heavy. Now, well, for my taste at least. And that led me to the camera that I've had for almost a year and I've enjoyed so much, which was the Sony a6500. Hold on, taking a drink. Boy's getting thirsty. The Sony a6500, which you can see right here. That camera was amazing. The autofocus was dope. It was really good, really fast. Low light was, oh my god, low light was just amazing. Like, you could shoot at 3200 ISO and still have no noise in your videos, which was amazing. However, the frame bending sucked because when you would turn it really fast, you can obviously see a picture, or like, let's say the screen, if I were to turn it really fast, it would bend in a sort of way that just didn't look right. And it had a mic input, but the one thing, even though it had great autofocus, interchangeable lens, mic input, it was a mirrorless camera, so it was light and it could shoot amazing in low light. The one thing that was such a hassle for me was the fact that it didn't have a flip out screen. That pissed me off so much, I'm not gonna lie. Now, most of you out there are like, why don't you just buy an external monitor? Hey Kev, an external monitor is not that bad. Hey Kev, there's an external monitor for like $150 on Amazon. Hey Kev, you could use an external monitor with your Sony a6500. First of all, let's just say that I'm kind of on a budget. I'm not really looking to spending all these external things on my monitor or on my camera, even though I did, but I sold that because it just didn't work out for me. It was a 7-inch 4K, it said 4K, but it wasn't really 4K, 4K 1080p screen, and it just didn't work out for me because one, it felt like it was dead weight, and two, it just didn't seem right. And the other thing was that you had to put an HDMI cable to, it was just a mess for me, at least. I didn't like it. But honestly, I love that camera. If I was going to spend more time behind the camera instead of front of the camera, I probably would have kept it. But as you can see, I spend more time in front of the camera instead of behind the camera now. And I just, honest, if that camera had a flip out screen, done deal. Still mine. I wouldn't have sold it. I wouldn't have bought this. I would have kept it. But it sucked. It really does suck. Sony a6500. If you're out there just looking into shooting cinematography, videography, or capturing great low light videos, I suggest getting this camera. Like, muy perfect. That camera was amazing. But it just felt like a lot of dead weight, you know. It was, I honestly miss that camera, but I'd rather get a more convenient camera for everything I'm shooting, which is pretty much this, the Canon G7X Mark II. I don't have to worry about, you know, carrying an external monitor or forgetting the battery for the external monitor or anything like that. I can just flip out the screen and there we go, shooting perfectly fine with the Canon G7X Mark II. So hopefully, okay, so basically you're probably watching this video like, how do I still decide if this camera is right for me or not? Well, it just depends on your personal preference. I personally just wanted a camera that's light, that can flip out the screen, has okay audio, and can really capture videos, even though I do move around a lot, because I do vlogging here and there. So, you know, image stabilization really worked out for me. But if you're just a person that's just going to shoot feature films or videos on cars or videos on, you know, music videos, whatever it may be, I suggest getting something like the Sony a6500. I've realized that buying the equipment that's kind of more pricey but has better features gives you better money in the long run, so you don't have to worry about all these other minor issues that you're probably going to think of later on. Now, if you're okay with the minor issues, go with the camera that's cheaper and can subpar with all your videos. So hopefully this helped you guys for your camera decisions or deciding on which camera you should get. They're not new cameras, but they're old cameras. I was looking into the Panasonic GH5, but it's just too pricey on my budget range right now. But that camera has everything that you could possibly look for within a camera. Just the only thing, I mean, I've heard some different reviews about it, but anyway, it's fine. But anyway, thank you guys for watching the video. If you loved the video or even liked the video or thought it was helpful or made you decide on which camera you should pick for the future, make sure to hit that like button down below. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below with the little red box. You'll be seeing more of this face on this channel. I don't really have a niche for the channel. It's pretty much just me doing what I want and doing what I love and talking about things that are important to me. And also make sure to go follow my gaming channel, which is Skebs Plays. I'll plug it at the very end. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is Kevin Akala. I don't want to do that. I just thought about having a whole entire outro, but I'm not going to do that. But I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace! Till the next one at least. Love y'all. Sorry, I'm just looking at these cars. So basically what's happening right now is there's construction on a driveway for the apartment. And this car was so stubborn to just park on the side to let a van come in. Like, people are so, I don't know, whatever. Anyway.